in our West Jordan Macy's, and we're learning today about grilling. And you know, it's almost Labor Day, but the season doesn't have to be over for Labor Day. Steve here, our butcher, he's going to teach us everything we need to know about grilling all year long. Steve, how are you doing?
I am great.
It's good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
Tell me about the meat that you have here on the table, Steve.
Okay, well we have our fresh Atlantic salmon fillet, our trimmed chicken breast, boneless pork loin chops, a classic ribeye, and we also have our flat iron steak.
Tell me a little bit about the flat iron steak. Now, I haven't cooked one of those.
Okay, well, not a lot of people have. It's really an ugly cut. I'm not going to try and pretty it up that way. What I will do, though, is tell you that it's the second most tender cut of beef, and it's got almost as much flavor as a ribeye.
So it's more tender than a ribeye?
Yes, the only cut more tender than a flat iron is actually the beef tenderloin. But the beef tenderloin doesn't have the flavor that the flat iron has.
Wow, so if you were choosing for you,
I choose the flat iron almost 9 times out of 10.
Really? So how do I cook it? What do I do with it?
Okay, well you can treat it just like you would a normal grilling steak. You can throw it on the grill, you can do it in a skillet, any way you like to do it. I've done it every way possible.
So tell me, how do I season it? Because I've heard both. I've heard you really need to season your meat, and then I've heard, you just need a little bit here and there. What do you recommend?
What I recommend is Spade-L beef. It's one of the best marinades I've ever used. I use it on beef, chicken, pork. It is perfect for bringing out the flavor in a meat. It's got a sugary base, so when you get the heat going on it, it caramelizes over the meat, so you get a sweet and spicy flavor to it.
Great.
It's fantastic. For those people who have a problem with MSG, the Spade-L fish is actually the exact same without MSG.
Oh, great. That's wonderful. So now tell me a little bit about, do I just sprinkle it on? How do I prepare it on the grill?
You can do it any way you like. You can do it right before you throw it on the grill. You can just rub it on there and then throw it right on. You can rub it on and marinate it. What I like to do sometimes is I'll take some of the Worcestershire sauce, and I'll put it in a bowl or in a baggie with some Spade-L rubbed on it, and then the Worcestershire sauce actually works as a tenderizer on the meat as well.
Great, that sounds fantastic.
It is.
All right, Steve, now everybody kind of has a little bit of a hard time with fish. It's a little kind of scary for some of us. Tell me a little bit about this salmon that you've got here.
All right, well this is a fresh Atlantic salmon fillet, and it's got a really good flavor, but a lot of times people are intimidated by the fact that it's really fishy. One of the best ways I've found to deal with a really fishy flavored fish is to actually mix 3 cups of milk and 1 cup of lemon juice.
Lemon juice.
Lemon juice. So it curdles the milk, and then you soak your fish in there for about 20 minutes to a half hour in the fridge, and it actually sucks a lot of that smell right out of the fish. So as you're cooking it, you don't stink up the whole house.
Wow, so milk. So you soak it in milk.
And lemon juice.
And lemon juice. That's awesome. Yeah. I've never heard that before.
Yeah, it's a great little trick. Then what I do is I wrap it in tin foil if I'm going to grill it, and put in about a quarter of a stick of butter, and let it just cook in there. And I season it with lemon pepper, grill it on then make a tin foil boat kind of a deal, and just grill it that way. It turns out
does
fantastic.
the steam inside the tin foil, is that what helps cook it?
You want to make sure you don't get it fully over the top. If you're going to do it, you want to leave a little pocket so you have room for the air to heat up. It's kind of like an oven.
Great. Now, how do I know when it's done? How long do I cook it?
One of the best ways to check with fish is actually the flakiness. You can do thermometers, but then you're ruining your fish. What you can do is you take a fork, and if you start flaking at the fish and it starts peeling off the little flakes, you know it's fully cooked. All
right. So pork. Tell me a little bit about pork. I'm not really sure how to... Can I use the Spade-L beef on the pork?
Absolutely. Don't let the name fool you. You can use the beef marinade on anything. And what I usually do with my pork chops, these are boneless pork loin chops, I will rub a little bit of the Spade-L on it, grease up a pan with some olive oil, and then I start it on a medium heat for about 10 minutes. And then I flip my pork chops, and I dice a gala apple from the produce department.
So just cut up an apple?
Just cut it up into little chunks, and then I throw it on top, and add a little more Spade-L. And what you get is, after about another 10 minutes, you're all done, and you get this spicy caramel apple glaze over the top of your chops. I call it my royal apple pork chops.
Wow, that sounds fabulous. That sounds delicious. I can't wait to make that. I think my kids would like that a lot.
You know what? They would.
All right. Now chicken. Let's move on to chicken a little bit.
Okay.
I'm pretty good throwing chicken in a crock pot, but that's about all I can do with it. Tell me a quick, easy recipe to grill chicken.
Okay. To grill chicken, what I usually do is I will either use teriyaki sauce, this was one of my favorites, or something as simple as a salad dressing.
Really?
Yep. About a half hour, you throw it in a Ziploc bag or a bowl in the fridge, Dump a bunch of this on it, marinate it. You can stab it with a fork if you like. That way it kind of soaks in a little bit better.
Okay.
And then after about a half hour marinating in the fridge, just throw it right on the grill. Treat it like you would a steak. Just
flip it over. How long do I cook it on each side? Do I flip it a lot?
You know what? I usually flip about 3 or 4 times throughout the time, and I go about 15 to 20 minutes on a medium to medium high heat.
Okay. All right, Steve, thank you so much for all of the outstanding tips. I can't wait to try that pork recipe at home. The best thing I love about grilling, no dishes. That makes my life easier. We're excited to see you out in the stores. Happy shopping.